Personal finance isn't all about making as much money as you possibly can. It is also about staying on top of how your money is managed and how it moves. The entities that move your money can do cheeky things. And this, in my opinion, is a legal way for them to steal your money. But there is something you can do about it, and in today's video, I'm going to show you what that is. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reece, and in today's video, I'm going to give you a task, one that you should do regularly to make sure you don't get robbed thousands of dollars over the course of your life. The task is simple. I want you to log on to your online banking, go to add new payee, and then look in the description at my payee details and send me all of your money. Do this now. I am a Nigerian prince. Just kidding. But I do want you to log onto your online banking because this is going to be one of the first places we're going to check. I will complete a list of the other places throughout the video, and I'll mention them briefly and link them in the description below as well. So what I want you to do is click on any account that money comes out of regularly, that you have subscriptions tied to, anything like that, and just have a quick scroll through of your transaction history. I'm talking about accounts that any money comes out of for things like streaming services like Netflix, Disney+, Spotify, your mortgage repayments, your credit cards, your insurances, your Pornhub premium account, your gym membership. The list goes on. Now start to scroll and scroll through for a minute or so and just pay attention and tell me, is there anything that you've noticed that shouldn't be there? The answer at first glance is probably no. However, the purpose of this exercise is for you to see that every transaction that takes place through your cards, through your accounts, is tracked. This means that if a company actually charges you a fee that they potentially shouldn't have, you have access to all of the information and tools you require to do something about it. Now, you may think this is silly. It would only be a small amount that they charge you, but that's where I am here to tell you that small amounts compile into large amounts over time. I actually check my transaction accounts once every fortnight, and I actually find discrepancies. The task takes me 10 minutes, but over time has probably saved me a lot of money. Here are a few examples just to give reference to even people in my own life being affected by this. My dad recently checked his statements. He found that someone had gotten a hold of his information on his card and charged a very popular food delivery service. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Uber Eats. They deliver food to places. They charged about $100 to his account 2 times. If he didn't notice that, he's out of pocket that $100. That's crazy. Ridiculous. Like, all he had to do was scroll. He saw it and went, I don't use food delivery services. And then he took the appropriate steps, which honestly took him less than 15 minutes to resolve. He was credited the money back and the card was canceled and all was well. And that stopped these people as well from doing it again. One that I had to learn the hard way about was I used a popular betting app when I was younger called Sportsbet, which allows you to bet and gamble on sports. I learned that if you have a credit card and you deposit money from that credit card into your account, it counts as a cash advance, which means you get charged a fee to basically deposit money into your account. I had the money, I just decided to use a card to get points for it instead and figured out that, holy crap, I'm gonna get charged a fee every time I do this. So I stopped doing that and used a different account instead. At the time when I was gambling, it wasn't a lot of money, but the fee was the point out of this learning exercise. And you have to think about it, like some people would have no clue. They'd probably use their credit cards every single time they use this app. I know people that use this app every single week. That's a lot of money in fees for no reason if you have no clue about it. Like that would compile so quickly. It was like $3. If you do it 100 times, that's $300 in fees. It's just crazy. Another thing I do quite frequently is sell and buy things off of eBay. And when you buy and sell overseas, you generally have to pay a foreign transaction fee. This is something that can also be avoided. There are banks out there that absorb that transaction fee for you. So keep that in mind as well, that I would never have known about those fees unless I was checking my statements and seeing that I was being charged $2 to $5 every time I was purchasing something from a different country. The biggest and worst example I have is of a close friend of mine. His parents, when he was born, opened him up a bank account. How fantastic is that? They opened him a bank account, started putting money into it from the day he was born. Fantastic. Fast forward 22 years and I was talking to him about finance and I said, oh, have you checked that all your bank accounts are free? Make sure you do, that's important. And he went, huh? What do you mean? Is that a thing? Do they charge fees? And I went, absolutely, depending on the type of bank account. So he checked, and lo and behold, they had been charging him $5 a month since that account was opened. 22 years. 22 years at $5 a month is $1,440 for nothing. Like literally no reason. It's not game-changing money, but his parents had multiple accounts with that bank, more than 5 to be precise. All they needed to do was check the transaction history just once, even once a year. How? It's just crazy. It's theft. The bank literally took their money for no reason. Like, it's so avoidable. Just open an account that is free. Lots of different banks offer lots of different accounts. With that nightmare out of the way, the last example I'm going to talk about is subscriptions. Now, I believe direct debit is the devil. I hate it with a passion, and I think you should avoid it like the plague. This is the type of thing where you have subscriptions and you've signed up to things and you forget about them. I also have friends who have subscriptions, let's use a gym membership as an example, and they don't cancel them because why would they? It's just ticking over, but they don't actually use that service. Cancel it. Like, just look at your transaction history. If you're being charged for it and you're not using that service, cancel it. I'm sure there are lots of people with Spotify accounts or Netflix accounts and things that they just don't really use that much and don't need at this point in time. This is your wake-up call. Cancel it. These services will take your money every time there's a payment period that passes and you are on that contract. Pay attention, check if you have any unused subscriptions and unsubscribe from them right now. Use your transaction history just to confirm it. Through your app or your online banking, you can actually download statements for larger periods of time. I would encourage you for the very first time that you do this to download a whole year's worth of each of these accounts and just confirm that everything in there checks out. Just make sure, just look at it. Use a pen or a highlighter and just highlight anything that's a discrepancy, then start to make the calls of the services you need to cancel or the bank accounts that you need to change and actually sort it out, because over the long term it does add up. I would also encourage you to check other types of accounts as well which have transaction histories and make sure everything is in check as well. Things like your superannuation fund here in Australia or your 401k in America, because realistically they would charge certain fees for certain services within that service. Yep. And then eBay, PayPal, TransferWise, any accounts that hold money that are like digital accounts, make sure they're not charging you any crazy fees or anything like that that's unexpected. If there are any types of particular accounts that I have missed in this video, please comment them down below because I'd be curious to see what you come up with. And I'd be curious to see if any are applicable to me. Good luck. Crack a bottle of wine if you're over 18, and if you're under 18, tell your parents to crack a bottle of wine. Make a fun exercise out of it, grab a highlighter and look for any discrepancies and just, make it a fun exercise. On top of this, check regularly. Once a fortnight is all it should take, and it should only take you about 5 minutes to go through everything you need to now that you're up to date. Overall, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope that it was insightful and I hope you learned something. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. It really does help the channel grow. And as always, I will see you in the next one.